else comes in, they marry a member of the family, and the dynamic changes.
Things were maybe not as copacetic as they seemed. Things were sort of strained.
People obviously looked into a lot of this, and what appears to be at the root of it is a division between the brothers, William and Harry.
Tensions between Harry and William had apparently been growing for some time.
What had happened is Prince William had confronted his brother in the run-up to Meghan and Harry's wedding. He just questioned him about, do you think she's the right girl for you, effectively? Is she the right person for this job? That went down badly with Harry. We understand was obviously quite angry.
And Harry never forgot that. That started a rift that had only deepened. They were never able to really heal from that initial disagreement.
Harry and William have always had a particularly unique bond as siblings. Let's explore the brothers' relationship a little bit deeper. William and Harry were born just over 2 years apart. They were close as children, and as they grew up in a family where roles and status mean everything, it was inevitably going to put a strain on even the tightest brotherly relationship. In royal circles, children are often referred to as the heir and the spare. The eldest is destined to be king, while the younger one can end up feeling a little redundant. For William to take a leap like Harry's would be almost unthinkable. He has a lot of skin in the game. He's going to be the freaking king after all. But the pressure on him to stay would be impossible to resist. Harry, by contrast, as the spare, has a little more wiggle room. One thing's for sure, they're both dealing with massive adjustments to their lives, so it's anyone's guess what the brothers' relationship will look like moving forward. Meanwhile, Kate and Meghan were dealing with their own issues.
I think we all wanted Meghan and Kate to be best friends because we love Kate and we love Meghan, and it was, okay, now we have two of them. But they're so different. They grew up completely different, and they have different roles now. So when they didn't really seem to become best friends, people started thinking that they were frenemies. And the tabloids went crazy, setting them up against each other.
Any new mom can understand the value of calling a girlfriend and having someone over to help you out and figure out this new role as a mother. And Meghan was very isolated. She was starting anew without the support system that most of us have when we enter this new chapter of our lives.
So you had Meghan having trouble settling into royal life. Kate is not able to necessarily be that support. And Harry and William not talking very much anymore. So the two couples became estranged.
It was on a tour to South Africa that Harry and Meghan seemed to finally reach a breaking point.
When they were in South Africa, they recorded a documentary with ITV, and it was really the most personal we've ever seen Harry and Meghan be.
They had a film crew following them, and this really was the first time that they were honest about how they felt.
They did an interview with Tom Bradby, who is a TV journalist. He has, over the years, become quite close to Harry and become a sort of spokesperson for Harry. And he interviewed them, and Harry was amazingly open.
You're living in this goldfish bowl, the interest is huge, the pressure is great. I mean, do you want to talk me through the last year and where you're at?
Look, part of this job and part of any job, like everybody, means putting on a brave face and turning a cheek to a lot of this stuff. But again, for me and for my wife, you know, of course there's a lot of stuff that hurts.
They felt that they were in isolation, and they also felt that they had no support when it came to all of these things that they were uniquely dealing with.
Another huge moment in that documentary was where Meghan spoke out about how she was feeling. You could tell that she had been struggling in her role as a new royal and as a new mom.
It's obviously an area one has to tiptoe into very gently, but I don't know what the impact on your physical and mental health of all the pressure that you clearly feel under.
I would say, look, any woman especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable. You add this on top of just trying to be a new mom or trying to be a newlywed. It's, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
I think Meghan was really sending a message direct to camera saying, I need help here. This is a difficult situation.
When she says not a lot of people have asked if I'm okay, she's not really referring to the public or fans who support her. She didn't feel members of the royal family
had asked if she was okay.
People were saying, is this going to work out? Are they going to be able to stick this out? Because it's not looking good.
The Sussexes were looking for a happy and authentic life, and they needed to find a solution, however drastic. We all remember those moments in history that changed the world. The first moon landing, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the first time we saw Kermit the Frog's legs. So weird. And when Harry and Meghan decided to leave the royal family.
A royal announcement that is sure to rock the United Kingdom.
Royal split. Harry and Meghan, quit.
Going it alone, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The royal family reeling this morning.
A rift in the royal family, not seen for a generation.
I remember exactly where I was when I heard the news that they were leaving. I was sitting in my office at People.
I think I was just running around the office, going from office to office, saying this is going to be the biggest story of a decade.
I feel like we were in a meeting and we were like, wait, what?
The rest of the royals didn't even know it until 10 minutes before they put this statement out.
On the 8th of January 2020, a statement was released from the Duke and Duchess that they were stepping down from royal life.
They did it on social media, of all places.
So right away, we were kind of all scrambling to keep up. It's on Sussex Royal, and is there going to be more coming? And who's going to answer the questions?
I can't even imagine the chaos in the palace on that day. The poor queen, she's 93 years old, and now this. One of her favorite grandsons, now stepping back from royal life, and what does that even mean?
News like this usually goes through the royal communications team, goes through the queen. There is a long list of steps you take before this goes out to the public.
So why did Meghan and Harry hastily make this announcement?
I think part of this rush decision on their part was because the story had actually already been leaked to the Sun newspaper. They were running it the following day, and from what sources tell me, they were forced into releasing their own statement.
Harry and Meghan felt that when the news leaked to the Sun newspaper, they had no choice but to try and get out ahead of it. So suddenly this train had completely left the station and everyone was kind of struggling to keep up.
I think it was a bad decision on Harry and Meghan's behalf to rush out this document without checking with the royal family. You don't change your decision making and go against the Queen just because some scrappy journalist in London is saying that they've got a story.
There had been rumours that Harry and Meghan had been in discussions with members of the royal family about leaving the monarchy, but this surprise announcement was a stunning reveal for all parties involved.
It is a bit of a soap opera. But I mean, quite frankly, the things that have happened recently, you couldn't write it.
You can hardly imagine how difficult that talk must have been between Harry and Meghan about what they were going to do. They've put Archie down to sleep, and they are trying to figure out how to walk away from one of the most important families in the world.
Meghan and Harry have not been the only royals to drop a bombshell. Being royal is a high-stakes game, and if we look to the past, Meghan and Harry are not alone in causing a few royal eyebrows to be raised. Good old Chuck and Cammy, Charles and Camilla, first met in 1971, but waited 34 years to get married. In that intervening time, Charles married and divorced Princess Diana. There was an infamous moment when they were asked, "And are you in love?" Diana replied, "Of course," and Charles drawled, "Whatever love means." 15 years later, it was all over. In the meantime, Camilla had married and divorced Andrew Parker Bowles. But they didn't exactly wait until their wedding night to hook up. They were still married, but it was to the reported approval of Camilla's first husband, who knew all about it. In fact, a recording of a phone call between Charles and Camilla got leaked, which is far, far beyond what you might call a bit saucy. We'll let you look that one up for yourselves. This is a family show, people. So in the grand scheme of things, Harry and Meghan's bombshell seems pretty tame by comparison. The media, having felt kept at arm's length, went into a frenzy.
The British press and social media very quickly coined the phrase Megxit, which is really quite misogynistic. It's blaming the fact that Meghan and Harry are leaving the royal family on the woman
The British press is always blaming Meghan. They've done that from the beginning. Whatever Meghan and Harry do that they don't like, it's Meghan's fault.
From a tabloid media standpoint, Meghan became the focus, and she's the one driving this decision. But anyone who really knows Harry knows that he has expressed a desire to step away from royal life from the beginning. There were times in his 20s where he kind of lamented at this role that he's in and hinted at that he would love to have a life outside of the royal family. So if anything, he's the one propelling this decision, and Meghan's supporting him.
I think we know now this is a decision they made as a couple. They're very much a family unit. You know, we know they have a great relationship and that they're doing things that they think are best for their entire family.
This had to be something that really weighed on them. But what must have weighed on them more was what they had been through for them to make the decision to leave the royal family, to leave the Windsors. I mean, it's a dream for so many people. And they decided to just walk away.
Coming up,
something like this could bring down the monarchy. This was panic stations for the royal family.